Cool. So you may want to take notes as we go along, just kind of in the order of things. So because what I'm trying to do is establish a really basic balance practice that you can do anywhere, anytime. If you don't want to look at the YouTube channel, whatever. Seated, and we do a lot of different centering exercises. We do that Kung Fu, Qigong one. We do a lot of different ones. But for me, probably the most centering thing is just starting seated, letting my eyes flicker shut. And then I'm going to very consciously do some counted inhalations and exhalations. And the first three we're going to inhale to a count of 4, hold to a count of 2, exhale to a count of 4. So let's do 3. And then after the first 3, you're going to go to 4, 4, 4. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4. And then for the last 3, we're going to do inhale 4, hold 4, exhale as long as you can. That might be 6 count or 8 count, whatever is comfortable. And when you're done, just let your eyelids flicker open. And don't you feel more centered now? And the reason we do the longer exhale towards the end is the exhale really grounds us. The inhalation gives us the energy, fills all our organs. The pause lets it expand even more in our body, but then the exhalation just grounds us to the earth, which is something we need for balance. So we're going to move up to standing now, but we're going to do it through a flat back, tabletop, then curling our toes, then coming up to downward dog, then kind of stretching out our legs a little in downward dog, then bringing our hands and feet together and then rolling up really slowly. So go through that process however it works for you. I'm going to go back to my mat now. Excuse me. Now we're going to stretch our calves by doing the same thing we did last week with the blocks, holding the back of the chair, maybe letting go if we feel like it. But I'm going to get my blocks here, and I've got the back of the chair. I've got two blocks. You can do it on one sideways, or you can do it on two lengthways. And I'm going to start by bringing my toes somewhere up here onto the edge of the blocks and stretching. I feel that huge stretch in my calves. Now, if this is too high for you, you might want to try books of some kind. And then I'm going to try and come to standing straight. And I feel even more of a stretch in my calves here. And breathe. And then I'm going to step back off the blocks. And then I'm going to stand on the block or blocks. And as I'm standing here, I'm going to get nice and balanced, and then I'm going to come up on my toes, and I'm going to try and let go of this chair. But if I'm too wobbly, I can hang on there. And I'm breathing. Then I'm going to let my heels relax. Step off the blocks, and we're going to do the toes and then the heels 2 more times. So toes on the blocks. Try and come to spinal straightness and breathe. Drop your hands, step off the blocks, and then come on top of the blocks, up to your toes, really balancing here and breathing. Drop your heels. One more half stretch. You can be doing this holding onto the wall too if you don't have a chair. You need support. So toes up on the block. See if you can come to straightness. Drop your hands. Stand on the blocks. Come up to your toes. Maybe a little higher than previously. Slow, even breaths. Drop your heels. Step off the blocks. You can put them out of the way now. I don't know that we're going to be using them again. Maybe keep them close. And then we're going to put on our shoes and take a walk. And for those of you who, Judy, I don't know if you've done this with us before. You may not have done this before. We're going to do meditation walk. So do a meditation walk. What we do is we pick up one foot. We start in entry. We pick up one foot, put it directly in front of the other. We come down on our heel, then roll into our toes, front foot up on our up on our toes in the back foot, then pick that foot up. It's really slow. Heel toe.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. So wait though. What we're going to do is, and if you need your chair, take your chair, but we're going to do this in our shoes, because a lot of times it's really lovely to do a meditation walk outdoors first, and it's a good idea to wear shoes when you're outdoors sometimes. B, this is a great way to balance. So if every morning you put your shoes on, either holding a chair, or if you're pretty steady, just doing it balanced, you would get a good morning balance exercise. So I'm putting this shoe on. And then I'm putting this shoe on. Oops, I might need a chair a little bit for that. It's okay. Use the props you need. And now I've got my shoes on. So if you want to walk outside, walk outside. We're going to do it really slowly. We're going to do 50 steps out and 50 steps back. And everybody meet back on the mat. So I'm just going to start. Your hands can be in any position you want them in. Remember to do the rolling. Heel goes down first. Come up on the back toe. Back heel down, up on right toe. 50 out. Okay, are we all back?
Mhm.
Can't see if everybody's back. Okay. Alrighty. So we're going to do the standing and sitting exercises next. So you do need a chair. And first, we're going to take off our shoes. There we go. Okay. Again, if you want to be just kind of jotting down the order of the exercises I'm doing, that's fine. If not, just don't worry about it. But these are all some of the really basic stuff we've been doing for balance. Okay. So, Judy, I'm not sure whether you've been here for any of these either, but what we're doing is we're finding, oh, wait a minute, I want to say one thing about that, the meditation walk first. I tried a whole bunch of different hand positions when I was doing that, and I realized that a lot of times when I'm on a walk, I have my hands behind my back holding, I might even be holding a finger, and I feel like that brings my shoulders back, so I'm not hunched over. However, I noticed when I was doing that in my meditation walk that I was not as balanced as when my arms are just hanging loose next to me. Somehow this unbalanced me a little bit. So the next time you do a meditation walk, try some different arm positions and see what balances you the best, actually. And the other point I wanted to make is this is a really good habit to get into, this starting with the heel. Because if you're not starting with your toe, your chances of catching your toe under something and going lurching forward are far better if you're starting with your heel and allowing your toe to come down on, if it might be an irregular surface or whatever. So it's a good habit to get into there too. So with the standing from a chair exercises, our goal here is to strengthen our thighs, which is really important for getting up and down and for recovering if we go into a little bit of a stumble or something. And it's a really good balance thing. So we're going to start, I like to start kind of on the edge. And I like to really put my weight in my heels when I'm doing it. I'm looking down, my knees are pretty much in a 90-degree angle. My feet are about hip distance apart. I'm not pushing with my hands. I'm not holding with my hands. I'm trying not to lurch myself forward to get up. I'm trying to just press into my heels and come up. And we're going to do this 2 more times. And up. Arms are loose. Sit. And up. Sit. And now we're going to bring our feet closer together, like right up next to each other, and do 3 with our feet together. Up.
Oh,
Sit. Up. Sit. Up. Sit. Feet way apart, kind of outside edges of the mat if you're on the mat. Try and align your knees over your ankles so they're not tucked in together. Sit and up. And sit and up. Sit and up. And sit. If this is really, really easy for you, the next time you do it, find a lower sitting surface. Now we're going to do right foot. I'm going to bring my feet to about hip distance apart again, but I'm going to put my right foot about a foot distance ahead of my left foot. And I'm doing sit and up.
oh,
And sit up. This is a little harder. Sit up. Yes.
I'm just groaning.
Oh, you're just running. Okay, that's fine. Switch feet. Left foot in front of the other, hip distance apart, about a foot length in front of the other. Adjust your little butt on that chair. Sit and up. Sit and up. Sit and up. Stay up this time. And we're going to do the curtsies. So I'm going to move the chair out of the way. I'm not going to be using it for a little while. And I'm going to stand on my mat in mountain. And then I'm going to cross my right foot over my left foot, and I'm going to bend my knees and curtsy. And up. Reverse feet. Left over right. Curtsy. And up. Try and keep the soles of your feet flat on the floor, right over left. Curtsy. And up. Left over right. Curtsy. And up. One more. Right over left, curtsy. And up. Left over right, curtsy. And up. Undo your feet, shake it out, do whatever feels good. Hang on. All right, I'm going to make one little note. Okay, the next thing, and we're not going to do both, but the next thing we're going to do is a flow. Because, well, for a lot of reasons, but primarily, most of the flows we do involve balance poses, and the movement between poses kind of duplicates real life. You know, we're moving along, doing things that we have to keep our balance through. So we're not going to do both. I'm going to take a vote. But the two kind of basic flows that work pretty much everything are sun salutes and warriors. So which would you rather do? We'll do one or the other.
Either.
Pardon?
Either for me.
Any preferences out there?
No.
Oh, you guys are so easy. Okay. But you make me make up my mind all the time. All right, let's do warriors. What the heck?
We did sun salutes last time.
Oh, we did sun salutes last time? Okay, then let's definitely do warriors. Okay. We're gonna come to the front of our mat. We're gonna do these slowly. There's no reason to be in a hurry on these. So let's come to the front of our mat, get a really good mountain. You know, well aligned, nice curve in your lower back, shoulders rolled over and down, your head's real floaty, your arms are real loose. Inhale your arms up, look up. Exhale. Inhale, flat back, look up. Exhale, pull your chest down. Bend your knees, drop your hands, and take your left leg back into a warrior foot. So come back a good distance and angle your toes forward at about a 45-degree angle, and your sole is flat on the ground. Your chest is resting on your thigh, and let's come up slowly. So let's bring our hands to our knee, and you can stay there if your balance is a little wonky today, or we can push up, bring our arms up, arch from our upper back, and look up. the warrior one. Now straighten your back again. Drop your hands to your hips. And I'm going to twist my torso so it's facing the middle of my body now. And that's going to be uncomfortable for my hips, I think, if my feet are exactly in the same position. So I'm going to move my feet at the same time. So I'm going to start twisting my torso, and I'm going to bring my left foot back a little bit so I can align my hips a little bit better without my right knee rolling in. And then I'm going to spread my arms in a T, maybe fold a little more into that right leg and look over the middle finger of my right hand. And breathe. My feet are really nice and flat on the ground. And next, we're going to do a little bit of a flow between the between peaceful warrior and side angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my left palm to the back of my left thigh. I'm going to turn my right palm up, and I'm going to let that left palm just slide down the thigh. Bending to the side. Good side stretch here. And then in kind of a fluid motion, I'm going to lean over, bend over towards the front, and bring my right elbow onto my right knee, bringing my torso over the right knee. Then I'm going to bring my left arm in front of me and up and over my head, and I'm going to open up my torso then. So my hand is straight up, my left hand is straight up, my torso is open to the front, and my right elbow is on my right knee. And then I'm going to come back into peaceful warrior. So I'm going to take that top arm down onto my thigh, press into my right foot, peaceful warrior. Breathe a minute, and then flow into side angle. And then back into peaceful warrior. Flow into side angle. And we're going to stay here and breathe for a minute, pushing your back shoulder back a little. So if there was a wall in back of you, your back would be parallel to it. And now I'm going to straighten my right leg and straighten my right arm. And I'm in a triangle here. And if I want to slide down a little bit more, if I can keep my left shoulder back while I slide down a little more, I can increase the triangle, or I can grab somewhere for a little more stability, whatever I want from this triangle. My legs are both nice and straight. Now I'm going to bend that front knee, and I'm going to twist my torso so that I'm facing over my thigh again, and I'm going to come up to warrior one. Straighten my spine, drop my shoulders a little, bring my hands to my hips, and I'm going to bend into that front knee and hop the back foot up. So both feet are facing the same direction now. My back foot is, I don't know, maybe 1.5 feet behind my front foot. And we're going to do a reverse triangle. So I've got both hands on my hips, and with a flat back for as long as I can, I'm going to take my left arm and push out towards the far wall, pushing, 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 my back is flat, both legs are straight, my back is flat. I'm at my edge here. So I'm going to take my left hand to the right side of my right leg, foot. So I'm holding on out there on the right side, or maybe my hands are actually on the floor, who knows. Then I'm going to do a twist. I'm going to raise my right arm and twist my torso so that I can look up towards my right hand and breathe. Pushing my right hip back, my left hip forward, twisting a little more. I'm going to undo that twist, drop my hands, maybe bend my front knee a little, and then I'm going to do just a little bit of a leg stretch. So I'm going to straighten my front leg, really stretching that front leg, my back foot still on the ground. Then I'm going to bend my front knee, keeping my back foot still on the ground, feeling the stretch of my back leg. And I'm going to go back and forth a couple of times. Just stretching here. I can feel it in my hips too. And the next time I do the bend, so my back leg is straight and my front knee is bent, I'm just going to bring myself up to standing from there. Straighten both legs again. And we're going to go into a warrior 3 from here. So if you need to adjust your feet, I'm going to bring my left foot in just a little tiny bit. So I'm going to start. I like doing warrior 3 with my hands in prayer. If you want to use the back of a chair, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to start with my hands in prayer. I'm going to come up on my back toes. So pretty much all the weight is in my front leg. And then simultaneously, I'm going to bring up my left leg and tilt my torso forward. I got a little Dorishi spot here I'm working at too. And I'm going to breathe. And then bending my front knee just slightly and bring myself up. Bring my left foot up, align with my right foot and shake it out. And bravo. That was a good warrior series. Now we get to do it on the other side. Shake it out. Let your breath come back to normal. Find your good mountain. Take a few seconds here, just softening, noticing the little curve in our back. Inhale your arms up, look up. That back bend is coming from the upper back. Imagine that your waist is pressed against a wall, your waist and your lower belly. Straighten and sweep down. Flat back, look up. Pull down. Bend your knees, drop your hands and swing your right foot back into that warrior position. Toes pointed a little bit forward. Then bring your hands to your knees. Check to make sure that both feet are firmly flat on the floor and up to warrior 1. Hands to your hips. Start to twist your torso to face forward. Make any adjustments with your feet you need to be able to comfortably have both hips facing forward, then arms out to a T, a little more into that left knee. Look out over the middle finger of the left hand, tuck your tail a tiny bit, and warrior two. We're going to do the flow between sleeping warrior and side angle. So right hand on right thigh, left hand facing up and over for that stretch. And then circle down. Open your chest when you get down. And back to sleeping warrior. And forward to side angle. And back to sleeping warrior. Peaceful warrior. And over to side angle. Bring the top arm straight up. Straighten the left leg, straighten the left arm for triangle. Make any adjustments here to stay a couple moments in triangle. Imagine your back is against a wall. Your right shoulder is directly above your left shoulder. Look down at your left foot, bend your knee a little, windmill yourself up. Bring your hands to your hips. Hop the right foot in, toes facing the same direction as the left foot now. Both legs are straight. We're going to do reverse warrior. So with a straight back until we reach our edge, I'm going to take my right arm, push it out, push it out. My back is perfectly straight as I bend forward. Push it out. Push it out. I'm feeling my edge there, my left hip. So I'm going to drop the right hand around the left side of my left leg. Pause there for a second before I go into the turn. So I'm going to raise my left arm, pushing my right hip a little closer to the ground. And then I'm going to twist to look up at my left hand and breathe. Bring my left hand back to my hip, twist my torso. So my back is parallel to the mat. Drop my hands. And I'm going to do that little bit of a leg stretch. So I'm going to bend my left knee, feeling the stretch in my back leg. And then stretch my left leg, feeling the stretch in the left leg. And bend. And stretch. And one more bend. Stretch and come back to neutral and bring myself up. We're going into warrior three next. So see what you want to change about your foot position. I'm going to come back a little bit here. Bring my feet somewhat closer. Starting with both legs straight. I'm going to come up on my right toes. My left foot is ahead of my right leg. My left leg is ahead of my right leg. And then hands, I'm going to bring my hands into prayer. And as I bring up my right leg, I'm going to tilt my torso forward, the warrior three. Bring yourself back up to standing. Bring your right foot up next to your left foot and shake it out. Bravo. Ole, ole. Okay. All right. Let's do a standing twist. Let's do it with our eyes closed if we can. Okay. Shake everything out before we go into this. And we're going to go back to a good mountain. Then we're going to take our right leg over, our right foot over our left foot. Bring our arms out, shoulder height, shoulder distance apart. Close our eyes and twist to our left. Coming to your edge and pausing there when you do. And then we're going to, keeping our arms, shoulder height and shoulder distance of hands, shoulder distance apart, come through center, twist to the right, pause at our edge. Back to center. Trying to keep your eyes closed through the transfer to the other leg. Drop your arms, undo your feet, get back in your mountain so you're pretty solid here. Take your left foot over your right foot, trying to bring the outside of your feet together or towards each other. Then raise your arms, twist to the right. And back through center. You reach your edge on the left, stay there, pause there for a minute. Back to center. Drop your arms under your legs, open your eyes and shake it out. Okay. So last week we did a 3-part balance. And I don't know about you guys, but I was not hugely successful at it. I'm a little wobblier today than I was last week due to some sleep issues. So I'm going to have a chair very close to me for this, like on my mat with me. And what we did last week was we came to mountain. I'm going to show you first. Then let the weight go into one leg. On this side. Let the weight go into one leg. I'm going to hold on to this chair, letting the weight go into my left leg. Then we reached over and grabbed. We didn't do it this way last week, but I thought it'd be better to try it this way. Our right toe and extended our right leg. And stood here like this for 30 seconds. Went into tree for 30 seconds. And then we took the right foot, placed it over the left knee and came into a squat for 30 seconds. So use your liberally if that helps you. If something doesn't work for you, like the toe fingers thing, just, extend your leg, find an alternative to do. So with all these standing balance poses, we need to be in a really good mountain before we start, because we need to be really steady, and I need to count in my 30 seconds here. So you're in a good mountain. You got your prop if you think you need it. Let's start by bending over, grabbing our toe or anywhere else on the leg, and then just stretching that leg out, doing whatever you want with your arm. And here we are. Now we're just going to move into a tree. Try not to fall out, but if we do, who cares? Then we're going to move in to the squat. So you're gonna bend your left knee, bring your right ankle over your left knee and squat. Come on out. Shake it out. And we'll do the other side. So I'm going to bring my trusty chair over here to the other side. Let's really shake it out. How'd you do? I think I did somewhat better than last week, but it's going to take a while. So if you're taking notes and if you're thinking of doing this sequence, don't do this whole thing. Just do a standing balance, you know, do like a minute tree or something. Okay. So back to mountain. Good solid mountain. Pick up your left leg, grab the big toe with your fingers, extend the leg for as far as you can, and I'm starting the count. And move it into a tree. And move it into a squat. Bring it on up and shake it on out. Ole, ole.
Allison,
Yeah,
when you do the first one where you straighten your leg,
yeah.
are you using the arm on the same arm as your legs, that side, or are you crossing over?
You know what? I was using the same arm as my leg, but let me try crossing over. Might be easier. It might be different.
Crossing, I thought it was hard.
Crossing is hard?
I thought it was. My arm doesn't seem as long.
Well, your arm's not as long. It's coming across. Oh, it's easier for me.
Really?
Yes. I can actually straighten my leg.
Out in
Well-
front? You can straighten it out in front?
Yeah, by crossing over. Because it's, you know, it's coming closer to my right hand and I have such short arms.
Oh, I thought we were supposed to take it out to the side.
No, we're trying to take it out front.
Oh,
But, you know, take it outside. Who cares?
much better.
You know, actually, I like that, Kathy. If I bring it up like this and do this, see, I can get a straight leg. Whereas doing it this way, I have to be so kind of.
Oh, I like it better too crossed. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Now you know how to do it.
Woo.
Okay, I love discoveries. And you know, what works for some people doesn't work for everybody, of course. So, you know, what we talk about all the time is listen to your body, experiment, see what works for you. So we're coming down now. And because we had so much fun doing this last time, and we figured something out last time too about it, we're going to do that on our side leg with our legs, doing stuff with our legs. So come down to your back on that. You might want something for under your head. I actually like to prop my head on my hand. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to scooch way over to the right side of my back. And then I'm going to roll over onto my side. So I'm on my left side. I'm going to prop my head up with my hand, but I could rest my head on my arm. I could do whatever I wanted there. And right now I'm kind of aligning myself by touching the floor in front. And I'm trying to make a straight line between my elbow on the floor here and my toes, the back. Sometimes if you need a little kickstand, you can bend your lower leg, but I'm going to try and be a straight line here. So one of the first things we did was last time was extend our leg up and then try and touch our toes, which I did not manage to do. But somebody, some clever person said, well, what if you grabbed your toes first? How would that work? And you know what? That would work great. So that's what I'm doing. I've noticed that my bottom leg has bent a little to support me a little, and that's good. I might try and straighten it out, but you know, this is a balance pose. So figure out how you balance best. And we're here, we're breathing. We're holding our leg. There we go. And now what we're going to do is let go of our leg and lower it and raise it. And lower it, trying to stay balanced and raise it. Trying not to put your right hand on the ground, but if you need to do so. Have we done 3 times? We're going to do another time. Raise, lower, and then we're going to flex and push that leg forward and point and bring it back. Flex forward, point back. One more flex forward, just as far as you can go, and point back. And then we're going to bring our knee into our chest and grab our toe again. But this time we're not going to straighten our leg. We're going to use our foot and our toe to move that hip socket, that leg around in the hip socket, going one direction and another direction, and coming back to stability. And because it was so much fun the first time, let's stretch that leg up again, holding the toe, and balance for 3 breaths. Bend the knee. Align the legs again, come back onto our backs. And then we're going to scooch ourselves over to the far left side of the back. Roll over onto our right sides and set it up all over again for this side. Starting as straight as you can be. Realizing that anytime you can bend that bottom knee for a little more stability, then I'm going to bend my knee, grab my toe, and straighten that leg. And breathe. I'm going to let go of the toe and lower. And raise. And lower. And raise. And lower. And raise. And come to about midway, and then I'm going to flex forward, point back, flex forward, point back, flex forward, point back. Bend the knee into my chest, grab the toe again, and use it to circulate my hip in my hip socket. I'm working all that well. I'm getting a little wobbly here. And then stretch it up one more time and take 3 breaths here. Let it go. Roll over onto your front. And just come down. Let everything relax before we go into a Sphinx. So just let your shoulders relax and your hips. And if you want to rock a little, do whatever you need to. And then move yourself into that Sphinx. Whatever kind of Sphinx you want to come into, you can prop your chin, you can have your forearms flat on the ground. But do one thing before you get fully adjusted in your Sphinx. Tighten your buttocks and then let them go. Make sure your buttocks are really relaxed and breathe. I can stay here all day. But I probably shouldn't. Okay, let's push ourselves back into child's pose. Any kind of child's pose you want, wide legs together, arms stretched out, arms by your side, head on your hands, anything you want. Okay, carefully come out of this and find your way to your back and into relaxation pose with your knees bent, your feet on the outside edges of the mat, and your knees supporting each other. Your arms can do whatever they like. The goal here is really to let go of any stress or tension or tightness in your belly. So focus on the exhalation in your belly. Letting that all go.
You could stay here for Shavasana, or you can move into any comfortable Shavasana you choose. Make sure you're at optimal comfort. Get in the pose that you choose, and then do a little scan and say, is this perfect? And if it's not absolutely perfect, do what you need to do to make it perfect. Now think about how you're going to bring yourself back up to sitting. Don't just leap into the day again. Kind of slither into the day. Gradual movements. Try not to use any more energy or strength than you absolutely need to. When you get there, when you get up to sitting, take a moment to find the optimal sitting position for right now. You want to be really comfortable. You want to have your belly open, your chest open, because we're going to do a whopper Om. So let's get in perfect open Om position. Take a few breaths, bringing energy into your lungs, into your heart. And then let's let our eyelids flicker shut again. And bring our hands to our hearts in prayer. And throughout this Om, what I want you to do, I want you to fully experience this Om. So what I want you to do is after you take your deep inhalation and you start kind of letting the breath come out your mouth, let it really kind of reverberate your mouth through your mouth. And then halfway through, close your lips and feel it moving in your head. Feel it moving in your lips. Feel that breath embracing your whole head. So let's get ready and breathe. Oh. Namaste.